Tell me about the celebrities.
A surveillance house is a building specifically designed to spy on individuals. And when we say individuals, we're talking about celebrities, and we're talking about politicians, top-tier politicians. Now, imagine you're in London and you've just been to a red carpet event, and now you're in a nightclub partying. You're in VIP, you're enjoying yourself. And then some of your new friends tell you there's an after party going on. Where's the after party? And they say, it's in a mansion in the centre of London, not far from here. So you say, okay. You jump in the car or you jump in the Uber, and next thing you know, 5 minutes later, you're at 33 Portland Place.
I have never met a man so focused on making money. It's quite an extraordinary personality trait that he has. He has this astonishing ability to see how he can stay within the law, but only just. He can sail right up to the edge of being illegal, of it being criminal activity. And he seems to have this intuitive understanding of how to just stay this side of being legal. It's quite extraordinary. He's lived an amazing life, surrounded by beautiful women and beautiful cars and more wealth than most human beings can ever dream of. Unfortunately, it was just never enough for him.
This is some crazy, wild information that is right in front of everyone's faces, and people are still oblivious to the idea.
Okay, let me explain how this surveillance house works. Right, step 1, the British Secret Service formulates a plan. Step 2, you find an up-and-coming politician. Step 3, take him to number 33 Portland Place.
Okay, so tell me about the CCTVs.
Yeah, the CCTV that's installed inside the building films everything that happens. Step 5, hold on to the footage for 10 years or more than that if you need to. Step 6, a war happens. Step 7, the people protest the politicians. Step 8, that's the moment you bring out the compromising material. Step 9, now the people find out their democracy and their voting stands for absolutely nothing because the politicians have all been corrupted. Yeah, this has been happening since the 1990s, and they've been compromising journalists and compromising people in power and compromising people in media, compromising people in television.
We get a lot of gangsters, we get a lot of fraudsters, we get a lot of the porno industry, swinging industry, we get a lot of royalty actors.
A lot of people here are very fucking professional. However, they come in here and they do the most crude, vile stuff. I know several people in here running big corporations, telling you some fucked up shit, law-breaking stuff, which is quite normal amongst the elite. It's normal. The higher up the people here, the more twisted they are.
Alright, okay, so Bobby, tell me about the scopolamine.
Scopolamine can be slipped into drinks, food, or even blown as a powder into someone's face. It kicks in fast, and the person stays awake but confused, often with no memory of being drugged at all. It's the perfect tool for compromising individuals.
Wow, I mean, it's amazing how easy it was for them to acquire all of that information and all of that footage.
All you need is one corrupt boss, and that corrupt boss will find somebody and recruit them. That person becomes the assistant manager, and that assistant manager recruits a deputy, and that deputy recruits a supervisor. And before you know it, within a year or two, the entire organization or the company has been absolutely corrupted. Whatever the target is, it works. The BBC, for example, their entire office is corrupt. It's not the same place as it used to be, and they no longer report the truth. And as coincidence would have it, it happens to be exactly across the road from 33 Portland Place. 100 meters to be exact. 2 minutes walk. The world's most important politicians would fly into London, and instead of staying at one of the 5-star hotels, they would graciously accept an offer to stay in one of the many rooms of the mansion for free, and then in the morning walk across the road to their BBC interviews. Bear in mind, they've been doing this since the 1990s. And then you realize what's happened to the United States. And then you've got surveillance houses all the way across the UK. Let me give you an example. This is the reason why the politicians don't do what they say. You're an up-and-coming politician and you've been out with one of your supervisors or senior bosses. You go to the after party, you hang out, you party, and then there's an adult party after, upstairs. This is the reason why the politicians do not listen to the people. Who are you going to listen to? Think about it like this. Something happens, the people start to protest, and then they stand outside Parliament and start to protest. Are you going to listen to them and their angry comments online? Or are you going to listen to the person who has compromising footage of you 10 years ago? Now, that compromising footage, what does that mean? You're going to get divorced. Your wife is going to take half of your money. Also, you're going to get pushed out of your house because you're getting divorced, so she's going to stay there with the kids. Also, you were taking illegal substances and spending money and time with a lady who takes money for adult services, meaning your wife can use that to keep you away from your kids. So you're also going to lose access to your kids. And also you're going to be disgraced and you're not going to be able to get a job again. So who are you going to listen to? The people standing outside Parliament protesting and the people online with their angry comments, or the person who has compromising material that showed you doing something 10 years ago? Who are you going to listen to? That's the reason why the politicians don't listen to the general public, because whoever's pulling the strings, whoever has the compromising material is way more powerful than your vote.
Wow. All right. So tell me about the war.
Think about it. 1 tiny coffin. 10 tiny coffins. 100 tiny coffins. 1,000 tiny coffins. 10,000 tiny coffins. And at the end of the day, the politicians are too scared to call it a geno. Weapons of mass destruction. Who gave the United States the information saying there were weapons of mass destruction? MI6, the British Secret Service. And how many children died? Approximately, they say between 45,000 children and 90,000 children. So let's just say 50,000 children, just to give the lowest number. 50,000 children died because of MI6's information, British Secret Service. 50,000 children died because of their information. Information we all now know is fake. And what were the consequences? Nothing. So what can the people do? What you need to do is start supporting whistleblowers. People like Julian Assange, people like Edward Snowden, and the poor lady that was accusing Prince Andrew and was a victim of Epstein, and also whistleblowers in the UK, people who are out there doing the good work, journalists, and also people like myself. These are the people that we should be making sure that they can keep reporting and keep telling the truth, because there are zero consequences for the government taking out a whistleblower and making it look like an accident. The drugs MI6 used to poison me shut down my kidneys. The dialysis machine saved my life. Then the doctors had to save me from a heart attack. Leg injuries, arm injuries, 2 teeth needed replacing. Possible lifetime damage to my kidneys, lost consciousness, almost died 3 times, and it took me 4 days to learn how to walk again. And the nurses were wondering how the F I'm still alive. So yeah, you had Diddy's house, you got Epstein Island, but in London we had...
Bobby Johnson is referring back to a time where in the aristocracy and people at the top of society.
And now here I am living in exile in the beautiful Dominican Republic. So yeah, the best thing you can do at the end of this video, really, really easy. I'm going to put up the document, screenshot it, save it, and then make sure you follow on and watch the following episodes. And I'm going to be explaining a lot more about how this works.